Hey guys, what is going on? This is Wrestlelamia back with another episode. The news never stops and neither does Wrestlelamia. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at the wildest wrestling news, stories, and rumors you need to know, including more news on Cody Rhodes' AEW exit, including rumored reasons why, as well as what's next for him and Brandi. Steve Austin working beyond WrestleMania? Is Lita leaving WWE? AJ Styles' desperation in WWE, and more. Riveting Rhodes rumors. Let's start with more details on Cody Rhodes' confirmed exit from AEW, beginning with the reason why. Since Cody hasn't spoken out about his departure yet, there's plenty of rumors, but nothing confirmed. One story making the rounds is that the American Nightmare wanted to be paid the same as CM Punk and Bryan Danielson. Pro Wrestling Torch's Wade Keller is reporting that, from what I'm told, Cody asked for more money than what Tony Khan was willing to spend. According to Keller, the acquisitions of CM Punk and Bryan Danielson changed Cody's perception as no longer being at the top of the AEW hierarchy. Cody was no longer a top-paid guy, and my understanding is he wanted to be to a degree that just wasn't seen by Tony as what he was worth to him in the current landscape. But it's complicated and there's not a single factor that plays into this, because Cody might have been worth it if he weren't getting booed and he wasn't the subject of ridicule online and in buildings and, frankly, behind the scenes in various ways. There's something to be said for Tony Khan being reluctant to sign Cody to a big money deal while he was drawing John Cena-like heat from the fans. What's even more interesting is that if Keller's story is accurate, Tony Khan has a limit on how much he's willing to pay for talent, especially if he feels said talent isn't worth it. This may be reassuring for AEW fans who feel Khan's recent signing sprees could lead to financial woes down the road, much like what happened with WCW. Other reasons for Cody's exit. While money sounds like a good reason for leaving, especially if WWE throws Cody a mountain of money, Andrew Zarian of Figure 4 Online is reporting, "I can tell you this much, it's not just money. It's not just a financial disagreement. Considering the fact that he's one of the founders, when you're involved from the start like this, and you're part of the creation of a company like this, you generally don't leave just for financial reasons. You generally leave because there's other issues." Zarian suggested an article at Forbes may have played a role in Rhodes' exit. Apparently, there was a falling out between Rhodes and Khan. Andrew noted, "Somebody sent me a link to a Forbes article and said, 'This really upset certain people, especially Cody.' I don't know if that's 100% true, but this kind of plays into everything. It was the Forbes video, the profile they did on Tony, and Tony starts it off by pretty much listing, 'I'm the GM, I'm the booker, I'm the this, I'm the..' Essentially, he's a one-man show." You may recall previous reports that AEW President Tony Khan had largely taken over AEW's booking duties, something which may have irritated Cody. Zarian made it clear that, "I don't know if that's necessarily one of the things involved in Rhodes and Khan's falling out, but it was a multitude of things." While Wrestlelamia thinks money could be all the reason Cody needed to leave, there may be another reason for Cody's exit, rumored backstage heat on his wife Brandi. Heat on Brandi? Another reason for Rhodes' departure may have to do with Brandi Rhodes. According to PW Torch's Wade Keller, "It sounds mean, but nobody has anything nice to say about Brandi Rhodes and her disposition or popularity behind the scenes, and I'm not just saying that with my personal satisfaction or preference for her to be liked or not liked. I'm just telling you, when I talk to people, Brandi has not been seen as an asset on camera, in the ring, or behind the scenes. And so that ended up being baggage with Cody because people like Cody, pretty universally like Cody. Even people who say bad things about Cody like Cody, if that makes sense." Hopefully the Brandi story isn't true, as Cody doesn't need any heat if he goes to work for another promotion, with WWE being high on the list. Cody heading to WWE? More rumors that Cody is heading to WWE, a move which might seem unthinkable given Cody's harsh words for WWE after he exited the company in 2016. Wade Keller is reporting that WWE is very interested in signing Cody and giving him a big push. I've been on the phone all morning, all afternoon, non-stop with people in AEW, texting people about the news on Cody Rhodes, which you've most likely heard about Cody gone from AEW and heading to WWE. Cody and WWE haven't confirmed it, but Cody is going to WWE, and he's going to get a big push. Vince McMahon is going to treat this as a big deal. Now that the WWE has national competition, it's easy to see Vinnie Mac wanting to steal a star from a competitor. Keller added, "Everybody I talk to thinks Vince loves the idea of acquiring a co-founder and EVP and, main event wrestler. He just held their secondary singles title not that long ago, and having him show up on WWE TV is something Vince is very interested in taking advantage of and making money on it. It could even be a situation where Cody is in a major match at WrestleMania." Figure 4 Online's Andrew Zarian is reporting the same thing. "I was told multiple times that optic-wise, this looks bad for AEW and looks great for WWE, especially with the fact that not only was he an on-air talent, he's an EVP, he's one of the founders, conceptualized the whole idea. So this is a mega story, this is huge." Keller's sources are telling him WWE could bring Cody in as early as this week's Raw or SmackDown. Keller also discussed the question on everyone's mind: if Cody does come to WWE, will Vince bury him for daring to leave and help start a rival promotion? "I think Cody will get a big push, at least at first. There's different opinions on whether Vince is going to resent Cody for creating competition or admire Cody for his entrepreneurial spirit and being classy about it the whole way. How do you think Cody will be pushed if he returns to WWE? Let us know in the comments below." More news on Steve Austin at WrestleMania. Is Stone Cold Steve Austin definitely returning at WrestleMania? Well, the talk is he is returning to battle Kevin Owens. Nothing official has been stated. Nonetheless, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that Austin Owens is on the card. "I don't know which night he's gonna wrestle, but that is the plan, and they pretty much started the feud on Raw." If Austin does wrestle at this year's Showcase of the Immortals, he might consider more matches. Diamond Dave Meltzer speculated on the situation. "Well, I suppose it depends on how Austin physically feels after doing the one shot. The thing is, he's got to be able to avoid injury at that age doing it. I could see him doing Mania and the next Saudi show, but they have a lot of stadium shows coming up." Meltzer believes there could be concerns about Austin losing some of his value if he made more appearances in the ring. He would also be diminishing returns. The thing with Austin, which is one of the reasons that he never came back, was that Austin had a pretty high view of his own wrestling, and I don't think he wanted to come back as, a diminished wrestler. The Melt said Austin could make non-wrestling appearances as well, but obviously his biggest value is as a performer. Austin could be just one returning legend. Dave Meltzer is reporting. And there's apparently one more surprise besides Austin still to come. It's supposed to be Austin level. That's a pretty small list of people that could be Austin level. The Rock, I think Dwayne's got stuff going on, so I don't think it's gonna be him. So who else do we have? Hogan, Flair, and Undertaker, right? Is there anybody else still alive that would qualify at that level? Who do you think WWE might bring back? AJ Styles' desperate wish. AJ Styles has done a lot during his WWE career, including holding a ton of titles and battling some of the biggest names in the E. However, the phenomenal one is desperate to wrestle one superstar while he's still able to. Styles revealed his dream opponent during a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Edge. "He's so knowledgeable, he's such a superstar. I would love to get the opportunity to get in the ring with him. There was that time when I thought there would never be an opportunity to wrestle him, and now it's here. The time is limited in which we can pull it off. Whether he or I retire first, who knows, but I want to get that match. I desperately want to get that match. I think it's the one that most fans would enjoy." As Cultaholic's Lewis House noted, Styles and Edge met at the 2020 and 2021 Royal Rumble, but not in singles action. Lita Done after Elimination Chamber. WWE legend Lita is challenging Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch at this Saturday's Elimination Chamber, but does the WWE Hall of Famer plan on sticking around? Lita spoke with Sports Illustrated's Justin Barrasso about this and revealed, "Currently, I was asked to do this match. I know everything can change in WWE at the drop of a hat. There is a lot of opportunity here, and just because there are no current plans doesn't mean there won't be. This is also allowing me to focus on the task at hand, which is to put on a killer match and not focus on anything else except Elimination Chamber. Should Lita work a dream match at WrestleMania against an opponent such as Bayley or Sasha Banks? The end of 205 Live. Last but not least, the WWE Universe is in mourning as 205 Live is no more. The WWE's former cruiserweight-focused show scrapped and replaced by NXT Level Up. The WWE NXT's Twitter account tweeted, "Catch some of WWE's brightest young talent as they look to begin their climb to the top of NXT 2.0 when NXT Level Up debuts this Friday at 10/9 Central." According to PW Insider's Mike Johnson, the new program is considered a B show to Tuesday's NXT, a situation which no doubt has fans puzzled since 1. They didn't know 205 Live was still around, and 2. Shouldn't Level Up be a C show since there's no way NXT is an A show? Well guys, there you have it, the biggest news stories and rumors in the wild world of professional wrestling. What did you think of these stories and rumors? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.